Global African Women's Day.
67 Commission on the Status of Women.
My rights. You can engineer a building, but you cannot engineer rights. Spirit of salvation. The African soul already paid the price. Daughters of resistance. Land rights persistence. When food becomes part of the resistance. My ancestors already went the distance. Walked with spiritual insistence. See, I am Africa. I am part of the feed. If there's a question about food insecurity, it's really a question about greed. You can't GMO a spiritual seed. You can't GMO a spiritual seed and convince me that I'm not part of a royal breed. If you're sitting in this room, you are a protocol that exceeds, a disposition that still bleeds.
So they cannot eat, and the majority of the commerce they close. So that means they cannot sell their product. They cannot do anything, because if you have a conflict, it's a problem. So we need to start by that to eradicate every conflict armed in the Africa country, because the women, they're very impacted about that. So we need to work with the politics, also not to be implicated, and the women can be continued to work even we have conflict. And also, I want to mention the climate justice, because in Africa we also have
criminal justice.
Yes.
Okay. 30 seconds, please.
Yeah, sorry. You know, when we have a climate change in Africa, nothing can go through, because the plantation.
Me up on my microphone, got me feeling like I'm really just sitting at home. See, I left my baby with the big mister, so I could come hang out with my Shero sister. And we spitting truth like we got the light, and looks like sister got the mic. So take a seat and look at me good, cause we going out to every hood. Got my hat and my brim and my fur coat, and looks like I'm not below, cause I got the bag taking it to my people. Don't you think that I'm not your Negro? Listen, we gon' give you freedom, cause I know that now I'm loved one. And if you don't like that, sorry, cause I'm not gonna give that repeat, because of my history. It's got to mean that I'm gonna be free. And if you like this story, then get up, line up, and come with me. So we gonna wrap it up now, because I got to do my time now. And I thank you for this opportunity to rock them.
Oh my God.
And I admire you. You are my hero, my eldest hero, but also the spiritual hero. Because I know it's not today that you are busy. You are a real Pan-Africanist. Pan-Africanist is not never retired, and is an activist. And we are learning so much from you. Also learn to unlearn. And it is true. When you are of age, then I realize that you are more, that you become, it's another phase in your life, that you are more to listen. Because you know that when we die, the whole library dies. So that's why we are happy to have our youngsters amongst us. And we are happy that they are listening, like we were listening. Because I can only survive on the right way if I sit and learn from the elders. So then I have Sister Kim, my PhD sister, who I admire. Sister Kim, really, I think that the king from the kingdom of Kush, he spoke the right words. You can move an ocean. You can move from a drift to rivers. And it is not easy to move an ocean. You can build an obelisk. You can build a pyramid. And of course, with the SHEROES. And you have given me so much, because I realized that when the king, the president of Ghana, on behalf of the African Americans, declared 2019 as the year of African, of the return. I spoke with you, I said, but why the African Americans alone? Because there are so many African diaspora. In Brazil, the majority is of diaspora. In Europe, you can say that all the colonial people who were under colonial power are in Europe. Then we have the continental diaspora, also in Europe. They are in France, they are in England, and they are in Spain, they are in Russia, they are in Ukraine. So many diaspora outside the continent. And the king of the kingdom of Kush, he mentioned he mentioned is it amount of 700,000. He forgot the 84 million people, near 100 million people in Brazil, the diaspora in Brazil. So 700,000 is nothing. But I can imagine that if you want to build a country, it's like Sierra Leone and Liberia. These are also countries of the diaspora. Then you have to realize, because that is what maybe kills Liberia, with so many nations, so many tribes, they were not to manage this. But what I hear Queen Mother Blakely said, is that the good spirits are there and waiting for us.
Yes.
And to Sister Angela did great in Ethiopia. And the invitation what I would like to make in the direction of the kingdom of Kush is that they must know that the African Union has declared in 2003, February 2003, they adopted the Article 3Q of the Constitutive Act that Guyans, as Mama Blakely, has fight for. We were in 2001 in Durban, where the other Guyans, like Baba Dudley, Ambassador Dudley,
That's right.
yes, he was the first who also received an African status from the African Union. But we were there in 2001 in Durban, and there we fight for the integration of the diaspora into the Constitutive Act in February the 3rd. They adopted it, and it was July the 11th, 2003, that in Maputo, Mozambique, they adopted it after the amendments.
Been holding it down.
That's right.
For 54 years as a humanitarian.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sisters, we must study, organize, and get that
Cut the check.
And thank you all for being our bank in the Netherlands. After the apology of the Dutch government, reparations after now.
Reparation, the spirit of Queen Mother Arlimo and other great women in the liberation struggle of African peoples.
And by the way, Queen Mother Dr. Dolores Blakely will be joining us July the 27th through the 30th for Queen Mother Moore weekend.
She knew that, right? Nice.
Global African Women's Day.
One more time, ladies.
CSW 67, New York 2023.
Here at the United Nations headquarters.
Sawubona SHEROES in 16 countries around the world. I'm Kim Poole. I'm your international host emeritus and founder, and I have the privilege of recognizing our current international host for our Global African SHEROES Union. As you know, this week we've been fiercely advocating for global African women, refining our policies and best practices here at the United Nations in New York City, Times Square. And this week, during the United Nations Commission on the Status of Women 67, we want to honor Miss Angela Sales. For protecting her womb, her sister, and her nation, we present Miss Angela Sales with the She Rose Up Award. Transcending barriers to the collective elevation of global African women and demonstrating the heal, glow, and grow needed for transformational leadership. This Global Women's Day 2023. This was for you.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Now we'll take
We're
one
gonna take a
picture.
still shot.